Okay, today I'm going to show you guys how to create a circle out of a square. So, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to have a ruler. If you guys don't have a ruler at home, just use a book or something like that and just kind of guesstimate your sizes. But I'm going to go with a 8" by 8" square. Now, if you're using copy paper, it should work out just fine because copy paper is exactly 8.5 by 11, I believe. So going 8" on the bottom, 8" on the side, 8" on the top, and hopefully I almost made it. Ah, perfect, look at that. And then I connect there. Now, next thing, what you want to do is you want to create an X from corner to corner. So from corner to corner, do the same thing on the other corners. Then I'm going to go ahead and find center of this 8, and so half of 8 is 4. So I do this all the way around my box. Sides, top, and make sure you got them all there. And then I'm going to go ahead and put in a plus sign. I want to make sure that it hits that center right there. Good. Now, what we have is we have all these sections, correct? These little pieces of pie, all right? So if you are right-handed, all right, which I am, you want to start over here, okay? All you lefties, you should start over here, okay? It just makes sense because the motion that you're going to be creating is kind of like a pivot. So a lot of people like to go ahead and they just kind of, scratch their lines and they're not really, getting to the point that they need to be. When I'm drawing really big and, doing stuff that's really massive, this is a pretty big square, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to back my hand up on this pencil, as you guys can see, okay? And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a rotation method. So from this point to this point, what I want to do is I want to connect. Now, when I'm going to these 2 points, this one to this one, I'm just rocking back and forth, and as you can see, I'm creating a compass with my hand, okay? Now, I'm not scratching, I'm not, trying to get, my line all perfect, but all I'm doing is I'm creating lines to get that good curve, okay? Now, if you ever heard of, waitresses not dropping their stuff that they're serving, what they're doing is when they are told to serve or carry a tray out to their customers, they're supposed to look at where they're going. Now, when you're actually looking at your pencil, you'll move it all around and it won't be straight. If you actually just go ahead and look at where you're going and let your pencil follow it, you're actually not going to fumble. All right. So just like a waitress would, they don't drop their glasses or all of their cups because they look at where they're going. They don't look at their tray. So again, I'm looking at where I'm going. I'm creating that motion. I'm turning my paper a little bit so that way I can keep getting that really good pivot. Now, as I work my way around this, I can go ahead and do something magical. I turn my paper around. That way I can keep working in my right-handed direction. If you're a lefty, you'd obviously be flipping it. Okay? So then again, here, I'm creating the pivot. I'm not picking up my pencil. I'm looking at where I'm going, and then I'm getting that really nice curve. And I got a little bump in my my cutting board right here. So there, okay. And then again, same thing. I want to keep that nice, motion here, and then going from point to point, I'm getting that nice curve, not moving my pencil, creating my hand as a pivot, and then as you guys can see, you're getting a pretty decent circle. Now, since you're working on a table, I can see, looking at my projector, because I'm actually looking at a TV right now, that there are some spots here that definitely need rounded out a lot more. So you guys are working at an angle, usually at a table. If you're sitting at a drafting desk, you're looking at it like up here at an angle, okay? You can get away from it, move back and forth. So if you can, after you draw this circle, pick it up and look at it away from you. All right, you'll actually be able to adjust it with your eyes. What is wrong with it? So I think I want to bump this out a little more right here, okay, and then bump this out a little more right here, and then I'm going to go ahead and try to perfect this thing. And here, and I'm pretty sure all of you old students of mine are probably like, "Gosh, I remember doing this in class." That's pretty fun. So go ahead, and if you erase all of your lines, you'll see that you have a nice circle, right? So clean up all your lines, erase them all, and perfect your circle, and you should have a nice circle made from a square. Now, another reason why I put in these lines and stuff like that is you can see that they're all are pieced together. You can show their distances if you want to make sure that they're all the same size all the way around. That's another reason why we do this. I really didn't do a good job explaining that part of it. But we do see how this thing was created, and I love how it turned out, actually. This one's a good one. Cleaning up my lines. As I go around, I'm even going to use my eraser in that direction. That way it goes back and forth. And then, I know this doesn't seem like a really cool concept, but it's going to teach you guys about how to draw circles really well, okay? Always keeping that motion and that pivot. That's kind of the key stuff that you want to understand when you're drawing. No scratching, no more scratching, okay? Now, what I mean by scratching is where all your drawings look like they have fur on them, okay? So, don't want them to have hair growth, even though I'm full of it. All right. Not too bad. I do see I need to make an adjustment right here, so I will. I'll come back through here. My lead is very long right now from erasing, so I'm going to go ahead and clean that up right here. And voila. We have a circle. Super cool. Done.